Which video?
The Star Wars Princess Bride crossover video.
I have not seen a Star Wars.
I saw it on Twitter last. I saw it on Twitter last night. Basically, I was chatting with people on Twitter last night at stupid o'clock in the morning while a bunch of us were waiting for the episode to go live on Disney Plus. And somebody's put, you know, the scene from the Princess Bride where you've got.
I know all the scenes from.
Yeah,
Princess
you've got
Bride.
Wesley and he's climbing up the cliff. And what's his face is at the top, and they're having a conversation about, could you hurry this up so that we can do the fight? Somebody switched out Wesley. Someone switched out Wesley for Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the Indigo at the top for Maul. So it's Darth Maul at the top. And the conversation is very, very similar to the conversation that's had in The Princess Bride, but it's Maul versus Obi-Wan Kenobi. It is so awesome. I could not stop laughing. And the thing is, it sounds like the voices from the actual cartoon. I kid you not, it sounds like them. So I am not seeing us on Twitch.
I see us on Twitch.
Why can I never see us? I always have to go to search, and I have to search for the Escape Podcast.
No, just search for Escape Podcast. No the.
I know there's no the, but... Okay.
It says for me starting in, I'll tell you when it says 3 minutes exactly. And we have the old, that's the old countdown. That's the old countdown that you're running, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the old countdown.
It is, oh, for God's sakes.
It's okay. It's okay.
So I've updated the music on the new one, but I'm running the old one.
It's alright.
For God's sakes. So you've got to check that out, because that video is so funny. Dude, you telling me that The Princess Bride is on gets me excited, because that is like one of...
So I can't guarantee, I cannot 100% confirm it, but I can tell you that Disney Plus tweeted something with hashtag Princess Bride.
Oh, yeah.
So we need to believe it's on there.
My top five funny movies, Princess Bride is in them. And there's Spaceballs, Spaceballs, Hot Fuzz, A Fish Called Wanda, and Earth Girls Freeze.
Okay, so mine would be Basketball. Thank you, Dr. Feelgood, for extending your subscription.
Cheers for the sub, buddy.
So we've got so mine are Basketball, Biodome, Princess Bride, Spaceballs, and Blazing Saddles. I gotta say Blazing Saddles. Two Mel Brooks movies.
Yeah, no, it's Basketball is in a top 5, but of a different category.
Gotcha.
Completely different. You know, that's the top 5 toilet humors.
Oh, come on.
Well, no, I still like it. It's still a brilliant movie, but it's the toilet humor from South Park in the movie that I like so much.
Yeah.
Oh crap, we're down 1 minute already.
All right, go silent.
Go silent.
This is your camp counselor Flair from the Twitch Chain Gang, and you are listening to the Escape Pod Cast. This show is recorded from a live studio audience, and your tips from the camp counselor, bits and subs, make Nev's hair go down.
One is a Grand Arena specialist from the UK. The other is a territory battle tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. With both having played this game since launch, the one thing we are sure of is that you will be entertained. The Escape Pod Cast, a service of the Escape Pod Castaways. A weekly podcast about the mobile game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Pod Cast.
May the 4th is around the corner.
And it is the day that we pause to remember the lives lost on the DS-1 orbital space station.
No, it is the day we celebrate the liberation from the tyrannical empire.
Yeah, and we all remember how that went.
Paul, am I going to have to come over there and slap you?
Sure, I'll see you in 2 days. Enjoy the trip.
Whatever. How about we talk about the Mandalorian characters that were released?
Sure, and yes, I could actually be very wrong on how good Din Djarin was going to be.
I know. Have you seen him?
Yes, and that's why I'm eating my words.
We talk about the Stay and Play monthly login rewards.
But do you think that's all we are going to be getting?
We also got some more assault battles, the way that it should be.
And there's also another hole in the calendar.
We talked to Rambam in our incoming transmission.
He has something that he needs to get off his chest, but I think I'm going to make him wait on that one.
And in our 4th segment, we have Patreon's Choice.
And a special drop-in from Thad from Going Nerdy.
All this and breaking news as and if it happens.
Right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast News.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Escape Podcast. I'm your host, Neil Andrew Eyre, and next to me is my hetero life partner forever, Paul Anthony. Paul, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm hanging in there, Neil. Always good to see you. Always good to come together on a Friday night. You know, we didn't do much. We're kind of in a holding pattern on the Lego game on that podcast right now. Waiting for the new community manager to show up.
Just waiting for new stuff.
Yeah, waiting for new stuff. I mean, we have 2 characters to talk about, but you know, not much news to talk about.
Nothing. I mean, we like to do long form. Yeah, we like to fill out, you know, a good hour, and there's just not enough to fill an hour out at the moment.
Yeah. So, for those who are fans during the Lego show, we will be getting back to those. We're just waiting for a little bit. Our push to 1,000 on the YouTube channel. Let me go get an update real quick on that, because our push to 1,000 on there still stands. Get us to 1,000 and Neil will cut his hair. And lots of fun things will happen. We are 151 away as of 7:34 Central Time.
115.
US. 150.
That's not bad.
151.
Oh, 151. I thought you said 115.
No.
Okay. Right, let's get stuck in, because it's been a good week.
It has been a very good week.
You know, as we say, you know, regarding CG, a broken clock is still correct 2 times. You know, 2 times every 24 hours. So CG have had a good week. Not gonna not give them the credit for it. They've had a good week. They've given us stuff we've been asking for a long time. And I've not had this much fun in a week of SWGOH for quite some time, actually. I've had a lot of fun this week.
We'll look back at when that last time you had fun, but let's start with the event calendar for May.
Okay, I have it up in front of me. Oh my God, is it full? My God, is it full?
But I'm using the prognostication powers of Paul. Thaddeus is Nostrathaddeus. But I'm looking at this. So they're giving away. They did this once before with Raid Han, I think. They're giving away a raid character as the daily login.
Yeah, they have done it before. And it was Raid Han, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we have
and GK. They have done it with GK as well.
They have. You are right. You are right. So we've got Darth Treya. People are going to finally be able to get closer to Treya if they're still struggling for the newer players. And if you are struggling with Treya, guys, once you have this Treya, welcome to the family. Because I really think, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Neil, Darth Treya is kind of one of those gateway characters because you can use her in so many different aspects. She's kind of like Thrawn. Thrawn's a gateway character. Darth Treya's a gateway character. C-3PO is a pain in the ass, but he's a gateway character. These characters open up so many combinations, especially early game, that
Darth Treya is special. Darth Treya is I wouldn't call her gateway. I would call her, she is a rite of passage. It's it's going from it's getting your manhood. It's like you're now an adult in the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes community. Because before Treya, you're an intermediate, you're a beginner, you're in guilds that aren't doing the heroic Sith raid, but then you upgrade to a guild that is doing it, and you get her, and it's like you hit that 145, and you get your. It's a rite of passage. Getting Treya is a rite of passage, and it's where boys become men and women, girls become women, and it's a nice feeling. I mean, who doesn't remember the it's like your first time. Who doesn't remember the day they got their first Treya? Because I do. I remember the first time. I remember the first time I got my Treya, and it was when did I get my first Treya when I got was October 2018. No, November. No, it was. I'm getting confused. Yes, October 2018. That's when I got my Treya, and it was like, I mean, it took me forever to get her from 5 to 7 stars. I mean, I didn't get her to 7 stars until like March of the following year. But it was just getting her. It was like, oh yeah.
Okay,
So
and
nice.
now Force Strong is saying that it only took him one time to get C-3PO. Force Strong, I love you. But there are some choice words that we no longer say on this show that I have for you, but I'll gladly talk to you afterward in the after show in the Patreon chat.
Which means you'll just get roasted.
Yeah.
Paul didn't like it when I got my Padme first time with the Geos. He did not like it when I just like auto'd. He hated that I autoed Padme all the way up to 6 stars. He really, really didn't like it.
I had her at 7 stars for a longer time than you, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, but you weren't happy in how I got my Padme. Just being able to go auto from star 1 to 6. You hated
the
that.
Geos, the Geo rework and the Separatist rework really entirely made that event a cakewalk now.
Yeah.
It's a kick in the, I'm going to say it's a kick in the balls for anybody that did it the first time.
It is one of the easiest. It's one of the easiest legendaries. Because it's not that difficult to get your Geos early game. I mean, don't get me wrong, obviously Padme is the lead of, one of the meta teams. It's and it takes a bit of time to get the rest of her squad, But getting her is relatively straightforward because most people go straight for geos now anyway. I mean, there's something seriously wrong with you if you aren't going for geos. Just to get your Padme, because it's easy. Okay, we've gone completely off.
We have.
Talking about the events.
We haven't.
Back to events.
We haven't, because we talked about the badges of honor.
Yes,
you know,
we were talking about the badge of honor.
Okay, Neil, we're not always going to talk about endgame stuff. This is a podcast for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, not everybody's endgame. So, guys, if you're getting Darth Treya, we want to see that in the Discord channel.
Yeah.
So, you know, show us in the Discord channel when you get Treya. We are going to cheer with you as you unlock Treya. And
All
if
you
you
beginners.
are 7-star Treya finally, good. Show us. That's awesome. That's very, very awesome. Now, essentially what we get is what we got the past few, I think 2 weeks now, where we got the Electronic Arts Sit and Spin, Stay and Play initiative.
Yeah.
Where they're giving us the assault battles and the mythic battles more often. Starting with the 4th, they're going to give us Forest Moon. Can I really quick talk about how much I love doing Forest Moon, especially with the B1 and Magna Guard interactions? If you haven't already, bring Magna Guard, do his basic to get his taunt, and then use the you got to have a high relic, not high relic, just a really, really beefy Magna Guard. It helps if it's relic, but use B1's AoE, which will to then heal the Magna Guard. The Magna Guard's going to soak up all the damage, and then the B1 is just going to gain stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks. One of our officers, Daenerys, had 472 stacks of droid battalion.
It's overkill, master.
The highest I think I've gotten is 221. But nonetheless, it is, I find that one absolutely fun to do because we're playing with the mechanic the way that they wanted us to play it. You know, I give props to CG for this. You know, having a mechanic that works in the favor of the player is great.
Yeah.
I mean, I can do the B1 Magna Guard back and forth in Geonosis territory battles. All right, where the hell is that in Lightside?
Yeah, don't bother. You need. Everybody needs to get away from Lightside. Lightside. We all know that Lightside is broken. It's not doable. Just kind of, yeah. I put it on the back burner. But okay, so the events calendar has got 3 that I'm really looking forward to this month. So I'm really looking forward to A, Galactic Bounties 1, B, Galactic Bounties 2, and Rebel Roundup. Because it's bounty hunters. Yeah, you're going to be able to... I really, really want to see what Galactic Bounties 1 and 2 is like with Mando. I'm so looking forward to trying it with Mando.
Oh my gosh.
And Grief.
I just thought of something.
What?
Mandalorian in the Nest mission.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we're getting ahead of ourselves because we're saving the Mando talk for phase for segment 2.
You know, I know we're saving that, but we've got the most important aspect of the Mando is it's the insta kill function. It's another character with an insta kill function. So yeah. But we'll get to that when we talk about them, definitely. So, yeah, no, I mean, just counting them. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 31 events in May. 31. I've never seen so many events in one month.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room as far as events go. Neil, do you see another 2-day gap?
No, you saw the 2-day gap, and which I, as I explained to you, see, this is see, get ready for some arguing here, ladies and gentlemen, because Paul, he may not be wearing it, but right now he's got his tinfoil hat on, because yes, there is a gap in the event calendar regarding the events between the 11th and the 14th. There's a 3-day gap. I mean, if you scroll down to Territory Wars, there's a Territory War on the 12th. So technically it's not a full 3-day gap. It's 11. There's a gap from, there's nothing on the 13th. Okay, so the 13th is the only day that is empty. So, Paul, take it away with your tinfoil hat.
Okay, and I'm not wearing a tinfoil hat here. You know, I'm not going to go as far as betting anything because it's stupid to bet on something like this. But if something drops, you know, the next stage of character releases, it's going to be on the 12th or the 13th. And we're going to see it happen, I'm thinking, on the 12th, especially with the beginning of the Territory War join phase, because they always released a character, and they've done this ever since Embo, if I can remember correctly. They've always released a character during the join phase to award the people who whale out on those characters to have them in the beginning of a second part of a Territory War. They don't do it for 2. They do it for 1, so your people can have it right before then. So I'm calling that there is going to be another character that drops, and we're going to have something. We're going to have something either to talk about next week or the following week, because they'll surprise it with us, surprise it on all of us. You know the words that are not coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, no, I mean, a marquee character would be nice around that time.
Ouchie Dumpling wants to is saying that you're the count. One SWGOH event. Two,
1 marquee, 2 marquee, 3 marquee.
So, fighting drunk.
Because GAC week 1 starts on the 11th. So you've got the Ewoks and Empire on the 11th. You've got GAC week 1 on the 11th, and then you've got Territory Wars 122 on the 12th, and then you've got that gap on the 13th. So if they bring out a new character, it's, as you say, if they do a 1 or 2 new marquees to give us our 5 marquees for a legendary, around about that time, then they're not going to be available for that Territory War or for week 1 of GAC. But yeah, if they bring them out then, people are going to be wailing on them hard so that they're available for Territory War 1, 2, 3 and for week 2 of GAC.
Yeah. And by the way, Ouchie points out that you said doo-doo.
Did I say doo-doo? When did I say doo-doo?
If they do bring them out.
If they do, and if they do... Are you mocking me, Ouchie?
Fighting drunk ass in the chat. Do you think that it'll be two more Mando characters? We're gonna save that answer for either segment 2 or segment 4, because one of our Patreons in the that's one of the questions for Patreon's choice chat. So yeah,
that's news to me. You could have told me that before we started the show.
Well, I mean, if you'd actually, take some time and interact with the Patreons once in a while.
I know. You have no idea how busy I am. You're busy as well. I do interact with the Patreons every now and then. Just, I'm not in there constantly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Well,
we are busy people. We are very, very busy people. Time is money. Money is time.
We do get the preview phase start is May 11th. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's look at this. May 11th is a Monday, the preview phase start. So you set your defenses on Tuesday and you fight on Wednesday. It seems like they are going, they like to put GAC streams on Friday nights, right smack dab during the Escape Pod cast. So
yeah. I've just got a ouchie. Oh, behave. What? She told me to spank her later. Oh, behave.
Oh,
yeah, baby.
He'll vouch for Nev. I interacted with him the other day. Okay, fine. B counts. All right. So let's talk a little bit more about what they did with the content update. They talked about, congratulations. Here we go. Here's a bunch of stuff for events, but that's not all. They did May the 4th and Stay and Play events. So the Stay and Play event login rewards. The May the 4th stuff that they're doing is they're giving us these Assault and Galactic and the bounties and the mythics and all that stuff. The Stay and Play are giving us lots of trash shards. I'm not going to make you be the count here. I'm going to quickly just pull up 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 7. No, wait a minute. That's the same 7 plus 1 plus 8 plus 9.
3, 4,
that's
5,
50
6,
shards.
7, 8, and 9. Just add them all together.
That's 50 shards. No, hold on. I'm sorry. It's 42 shards. 42 shards because I added 8.
It's not that much faster. I mean, you can get a couple of heroic Siths in and get 5 shards from each heroic Sith raid. So 5, 8. Yeah, I mean, you could probably get you could get 8 heroic Sith raids in a month. So if you're getting 8 heroic Sith raids in a month, you're effectively doubling the amount of treasure shards that you would get in the month of May if you're doing heroic Sith, which is pretty sweet. Yeah. Which is pretty sweet. I mean, it's not as sweet as the other rewards. My God, the crystal rewards for logging in this month. Oh, my, just so.
How much? You did the math on this, didn't you?
It's over 1,000.
Okay, so I'll do it. 160 plus 100 plus 120 plus minus 12 plus 120 plus 180 plus 200.
And then boom, 500 at the end. And
then 500. That's $1,260 or 60 crystals.
4 digits in crystals just for logging in. I mean, I tell you, I've got 2 mothballed accounts that I don't play anymore, and I'm tempted just to log in on them just for the crystals. Just so that they're sat there doing nothing. So if I ever decide to go to them, they're there. But yeah, no, that is a really, really sweet looking monthly login rewards, without a doubt. Not just that, but I mean, look, you get 7s, 8s, and 5 omegas. I must admit, I would have liked to have seen training droids. Or I would have liked to have seen them bin the training droids and just done Zetas and Omegas where the training droids are, so that you got 13 Omegas and 20 Zetas, so that the login reward for that month from beginning to end would have been 1 full Zeta. I think that would have been nicer. I think it would have been nicer. Keep the crystals, keep the treasure shards, keep the credits, get rid of the training droids, because most people have got thousands and thousands and thousands of training droids, and they'll never, ever, ever be used. So giving us more of something that people already have a massive abundance. I mean, even early game players don't run out of. You just don't run out of training droids. You never do. I've never, ever, playing this game on any account in 4 years, ever run out of training droids. I don't know about anybody else. So seeing the training droids as a reward, I think that they could have given us something a little bit more worthy there.
So Fighting Drunk says that he ran out of training. Training droids were hard to get. And Thaddeus from Going Nerdy also says that.
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Clearly, you're doing it wrong. Okay? You're playing the game wrong. You're fluffing your roster. So, if you're doing it right, you don't run out of training droids.
Okay,
clearly
so
you were doing it wrong.
I do have to say one thing. I just took a look at some quick numbers.
Mm-hmm.
A quick shout out to Fighting Drunk Fighting Drunk, you were our 150th Twitch follower from the bottom of our heart, and everybody who's followed since. Porky Face, Savage Diva, Heinzie, and Thaddeus. Guys, thank you for getting us to over 150 followers on Twitch. It means a lot to us.
Oh yeah,
we've taken off since we moved the show here, and it means so much to us.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
Thank you from the bottom of our
and
heart.
if you start a hype train, do it when he's talking, not when I'm talking, because it's bloody distracting. He's like, if someone starts a hype train, just ignore it. Just ignore it and keep talking. I'm like, you try bloody talking when there's a hype train going on, and you've got diddle-loo, diddle-loo, diddle-loo going off every 30 seconds. It's just, yeah, it's very distracting. So yeah, do it when he's talking, not when I'm talking. So okay, so we've done that. That's great. That's not all though. We're forgetting something very, 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 very important. Double drops.
Double drops. Yes,
No, don't. Just don't do it. Okay, so double drops. So we've got mod battles and challenges doing double drops on the 4th, 5th, and 6th. That's brilliant. That is really, really good because everybody talks about mods. You know, without mods, you're dead in the water. And to be able to get double drops on mods and the slicing gear, you're just, yeah. You make sure you're using at least 3 refreshes. Because if you're using 3 refreshes, you're going to get 6 times the amount of mods. And at least 1 or 2 of those have got to roll some speed for you. So you got to take advantage of that. And then obviously normal nodes and hard nodes in light side, dark side, and fleet battles will be doing double drops on May the 4th. I'm a little bit confused as to why they didn't just follow with them. I don't know why they don't just do double drops across the board on the 4th, 5th, and 6th. I'm a little bit confused then, but hey, yeah, that's it. Oh, and there is one caveat to that. The double drops does not include GL event tickets. So, you know, sorry guys, you're going to have to wail harder, unfortunately.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. I'm not there yet anyway. So
see, I told you it's distracting.
Ram Bam coming in with a subscribe. It's not a hype train right now, though.
Okay,
we don't have a hype train going on.
Okay. But that was just one person subbing, and it's cut you off mid-sentence. See, it is distracting. Now try doing that when there's a hype train going on. It ain't easy. It ain't easy.
Well,
okay.
if they do a hype train and they advance 2 levels, you're gonna bring down. There it is. There's a hype train. So if it ends up where we get to the 3rd level, if it goes to level 4 of the hype train, guys, Neil will let his hair down again, even though he hates it.
Yeah, I hate it. You know I hate it. No, I hate letting my hair down. I absolutely hate it.
So, and going out and look on the screen. There, you're really mad. You're really mad.
Oh no! No! Don't be dropping hints on people, Dr. Feelgood, with the 666. No.
If you do 666 during the live show, you get to see Nev ranting and raving. That's the only way you get to see that one.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm bloody warning you. Don't do it. Okay? Do not touch that button.
All right.
Okay. So let's talk about the packs and the bundles.
The packs and the bundles, the Mando bundle, and the Mando pack, you know, your standard, you know, get 10 crystals for just 1 penny. You end up getting, there's also the iconic injector bundle, the plasma injector bundle. We're going to see May 4th packs.
Yeah.
One of the May 4th packs.
Oh, the May 4th. If everybody remembers, it was just last year. It was the anniversary of the game. During the anniversary of the game, they did the Trove pack, where it's 330 shards of a random Cronium pack character for 5,000 crystals. Because if you remember, I did it live on my Horde account, and I dropped a 7-star Mother Talzin, which was sweet. I haven't... That without a doubt, that is the sweetest thing that's ever happened, because every time the... what's the event? Is it the Dathomir event? Because I have a 7-star Mother Talzin, I get 2 bonus... Zetas every single time that event is on. So
wouldn't it be great if you do it again and you get Wicket?
Oh God, yeah, no, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. So, but yes, so obviously we'll mention it now. It's been mentioned on the Discord server. On May the 4th is round 3 of the final phase of this GAC. At the start of my GAC, which obviously will be running alongside everybody else in the chain gang. Guys, love you. So at the start of my GAC, Paul is going to throw...
We're going to do it at the start.
Yeah, you're going to throw the poll up at the start.
Well, the poll will only go for 10 minutes. So what I was thinking is at the end, once you've done all 3 accounts, then you bring up the account, the Horde account, the old Horde account, and we give 10 minutes to vote.
Yeah.
10 minutes to vote on May 4th. And he will either spend all of his crystals on Mando, or he will buy the May 4th pack, and spend a little bit on Mando.
Spend a little bit, yeah. Because I've never, in 4 years, I have never, ever hoarded crystals for a character before. But the second I heard Mando was coming to the game, I instantly started hoarding my crystals. Because I'm thinking to myself, the 1,299 packs, I'm going to roll the dice and see if... Because I would just love to roll a 330 on him. I mean, I know it's not likely, but I will definitely be able to roll enough to get to either 4 or 5 stars. So 4 stars is guaranteed, 5's a possibility.
Okay, so here we go. And we're gonna give a shout out to everybody that helps. There's 60 seconds left in that hype train on Twitch while we record this live, to take it to the next level. You guys got to get it one more level, and he lets the hair down. Now, that being said, it is kind of tradition for you to buy this 5,000 crystal pack.
Yeah. It has become a tradition. But I would like, there are people that know I want to spend all of that. I really, really want to spend. Is Gridan in the chat?
No, he just ended up getting the gift from Rambam.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes. So I really, really want the Mando. So I reckon I'm going to have about 10,000. I mean, no, it's not. I know it's not a lot, but I'm going to have about 10,000 crystals. I reckon by May the 4th. As long as I don't buy anything stupid, of course. I reckon I'll have about 10,000 crystals. So 10,000 crystals, 1,299. It would get me several spins of the dice.
Yeah.
And obviously, I've got to try and get it in that, get it in one of those spins, because once the crystals have run out, I'll just have to, like everybody else that's free to play, I'll be waiting for him to go free to play. And then, oh my God, am I going hard on him? Screw all other farms. When Kara and Grief and Mando go free to play, all other farming goes out the window, and I'm just going to be farming them. And that's a certainty. That is, and I'll be doing that on all 3 of my accounts. I don't care what I'll be farming them, plus whatever the other 2 marquee characters are. Because I love that show and I love those characters, and yeah, I'm definitely going to go hard on them. But yeah, it is a tradition, so that's why I'm going to leave it up to the viewers. That's why we're going to do the poll on the GAC, 10 minutes. So everybody that's in chat now, everybody watching this, even if you don't come over to watch me or anybody else in the chain gang, come on over just to drop an opinion on that poll and vote as to what I do.
Yeah.
And obviously, if the 5,000 crystal, if the 331 wins, that you got to stick around and watch me. You got to stick around and watch me get it.
So I'll talk to the chat. They're asking about the hype train. It did fail right at the end.
Yes. Hair stays up.
Now here's one thing that we're doing with that 330 pack. We did end up getting a hype train going. It only went level 1, so but if somebody buys the 330 pack, if you are a listener to this show and you buy the 330 pack and you get a cup, the Escape Podcast, the first person to show us that it's, we need to see, if you're going to buy the 330 pack, you have to record yourself, show the date, because we're not going to take old submissions. Show the date, scroll down, start recording your screen, show the date, and then buy the pack. If you draw a cup, we will buy you a cup. It's a cup for a cup promotion.
And it will have the Escape Pod, and it will be an Escape Pod cast free-to-play tiers mug.
No.
Oh, is it not?
It's not the free-to-play tiers mug. This is a one of a kind.
Of a kind.
But it will be one of the nice.
Oh yeah, we didn't have the free-to-play tiers mug when we did it the first time.
I made this myself.
Yeah.
But it's one of our thermos cups. One of our thermos cups from tpublic.com. So, and you could get whatever you want. You could get Story Time with the Llama cup. You could get a Escape Pod cup. You could get a Team Neil cup. Or you could get, me.
You want my mug on your mug. Trust me.
So, a cup for a cup must show that it is in the current promotion. Your video, first one to show us, gets the cup. If you buy the 330 pack and get cup. I will not send you anything from proflowers.com. I will not be doing roses for Rose. I'm not going to be doing that.
No,
but I will
no roses for Rose.
A cup for a cup.
But if you get Rose, show us so we can all have a good laugh at your expense.
I saw somebody get Lobot. That was kind of fun.
Oh, no, I would love to have Lobot. Because it's a character you're not going to farm.
And we are going to go back and we're going to review next week. We're going to review what the May the 4th gear bundles looked like. But there is stuff that the Escape Podcast is doing on May the 4th, and we'll get into that in the 4th segment. But coming up after these messages, I was wrong about the Mandalorian kit and all these new characters. We'll cover that when we return on the Escape Podcast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Macias Modding Mayhem is the premier remodding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Macias will rebuild your roster from top to bottom and give you consultation on where to go from there. Macias has a 100% satisfaction guarantee and lots of useful additional services, including a full cleanup of your mods, loadout pages, PvP plans, and more. Contact Macias today on Discord at all lowercase Macias number 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or at maciasmods@gmail.com. Macias Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Pod Cast.
Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Ware could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/The Escape Pod to sign up.
Hello friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways wants you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Pod Castaways, all for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Hey there, Padawans. Lego Llama here. I interrupt this regularly scheduled break to give you a quick vocab lesson. First, I must let you know that Paul, the Zed, and the llama are big AFFLs. That stands for Adult Fan of Lego, by the way. And we, along with Neil, are playing Lego Legacy Heroes Unboxed. Not only are they playing it, but Neil and Paul have been releasing a Lego Legacy version of the Escape Pod cast every week on their YouTube channel. Visit the channel for more information. Neil knew it. He is surrounded by AFFLs. See you on the web.
The Escape Pod cast.
And welcome back to the Escape Podcast. We're into our second segment now. Paul is chugging his milk. Got milk?
No, it's free to play tiers.
Oh, it's free to play tiers. There's no free to play tiers for you. Do I look like I'm crying? I've never been more overjoyed this week because I'm a free to play player. This week I got three free characters, not 3 random crappy characters that I'm never going to use. I got Finn. I got Poe the Explorer. I got fake Sith Trooper 2. I got what's the red-headed guy from the sequel trilogy? The bad guy. Hux.
Talking about Hux? I was going to say
Hux. So I've got all 4 of those. I got them all. They're sat on my roster doing nothing. Because I do not care about those characters. The second I got each of these characters, I instantly put on them everything that I could put on them. I did not even bother with my farming on my 3 accounts. When I got the Mando, I spent every single one of my refreshes and all my gear. I mean, I could only get him up to 8. I could only get him up to 8. But, purple mats, anything I had, dumped on him.
You know what?
Decent mods, dumped on him. Level 85, straight away. I've got him over 10k. Oh, and on 2 accounts, he's got his Zetas. It's 3 stars. I've never put Zeta on a 3-star character before.
Now, it was very. I did the same thing. I got Kara Grief and Din Djarin all the way to be able to get their maximum abilities. I didn't Zeta or Omega yet because I'm still waiting on that. But yeah, this truly felt like the good days of old. My first love. And I think you felt that way too. When was the last time that you did something like this?
I've not been this excited about marquee characters since Phoenix. I've not been this excited about marquee characters since they brought out the Phoenix. Because when they brought, contrary to popular belief, I do not despise all new canon stuff. All right, I do not despise all of the Disney fan fiction. All right, there is some Disney fan fiction that I like. Rebels is one of them. I like Rebels. I do enjoy the Rebels. I must admit I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed the characters. Sabine, and they did the right characters as well. I mean, it would have been nice if we'd got Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum as with the Phoenix tag, but technically she wasn't in Phoenix Squadron. So I kind of understand why, but yeah, no, I really, really, really enjoyed those marquee characters, and on that occasion, I did them all. They were so viable, because one of the things you got to remember is when Phoenix first came out, and you'll remember this, Paul. Galactic War was not simmable.
No, But Phoenix was the answer to it.
Yeah.
And Phoenix was out before there were Zetas.
Yeah.
Phoenix was out before there were Zetas, and that's the way I liked it.
But I did. It was nice. I got the Phoenix because it was nice to be able to get to the end of Galactic War. And the Phoenix, yeah. I mean, anybody will tell you. I mean, before before you can sim it, you get decent Phoenix. They will go from start to finish. They will go from start to finish. They're such that obviously end game not so much, but early and mid game they're really, really good in several different areas. I mean, and not to mention the fact that they brought Thrawn out. One of the most awesome bad guys in one of the most awesome bad guys in the Star Wars galaxy. And he's not even particularly that evil. He's not even particularly that evil. He just works for an evil organization. Because think about it. I mean, the galaxy were like over the top OTT xenophobic. They did not like aliens whatsoever. And here's an alien that is a Grand Admiral. I mean, yeah, So yeah, Phoenix were great, and then they brought Thrawn out. That's why I've got that tingly, exciting feeling about these Mando characters, because I think we're going to get another 2 marquees, maybe on the dates that you're speculating, and then we're going to get a legendary. And I mean, I'd love for that legend. I'd love for the legendary to be. I mean, for all we know, we might get Yoda, but to be honest with you, the obvious 2 marquee characters remaining are Queel and IG-11. It's obvious. I mean, it's so blaringly obvious. And then the question becomes, who do we get for the legendary? Is it going to be
Grief Karga,
Baby Yoda?
It's Grief Karga.
No, who's going to be the legendary?
Grief Karga.
It can't be Grief.
Or not Grief Karga. I'm sorry, Moff Gideon.
Yeah, it's either going to be Baby Yoda or it's going to be Moff Gideon.
Sorry, I was getting my iconic actors that have flipped into this show totally confused.
Las pollas hermanas.
I think
chicken
that
guy.
Grief Karga,
the chicken guy. It's the chicken guy.
I think that it should have been Grief Karga as the head of the bounty hunters. That should have been the legendary, but awesome. Moff Gideon would be great.
Yeah, no, he would. And the thing is, you drop Moff Gideon as the legendary, and then after a Moff Gideon, I mean, if let's say for argument's sake that it is Moff Gideon, you drop Moff Gideon, and then they can drop in some other Empire characters to specifically go with him. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I want to see 501st. I want to. I know I want to see 501st Empire characters to go under him, because without the 501st, they would not have been able to do those incredible scenes.
And guys,
in episode 7 and 8 of The Mandalorian, they wouldn't have been able to do it.
We are talking about the fact we're talking about 501st Legion, who is the cosplaying community of Star Wars. Dr. Feelgood says, I don't think Disney will allow them to use the child in a fighting game.
Disney have got Jack in DSA. Jack is a child.
Stealing the words right out of my mouth. Yes, they have Jack in Disney Sorcerer Arena. So
Disney do not have a problem with babies, because Jack is an actual baby. Baby Yoda is, we call him Baby Yoda. He's 50-year-old. He's 50 years old. I mean, he looks like a baby, but he's technically 50 years old. So, but yeah, no, Jack in DSA. So Disney, that's not going to be a valid reason for them to not. I mean, they might not bring him into the game full stop, but it wouldn't be for that reason. I still would like to have seen him come in as a special for the Mando, as a summon, but his disintegrate more than makes up for that.
And yes, by the way, Ouchie points out that Disney has an episode of somebody punching Baby Yoda.
Exactly. And I want to. That's what I want to see. Scout Trooper. I want to see Scout Trooper. I want to see a Scout Trooper. I want to see a 501st Stormtrooper. Okay. I definitely want to see the flamethrower. the flamethrower trooper. I really, because that was a badass costume, and whoever they had in that suit just oozed attitude. Like, you're getting burnt, mofos. So yeah, I really want that one in there. I definitely want the Scout Trooper in there. They just, just 4 new Empire characters to go under Moff Gideon, if Moff Gideon is indeed the legendary character that we're going to get as a result of the 5 obvious Mandalorian obvious Mandalorian marquees. Because let's be honest, I mean, it is a foregone conclusion. IG-11 and Quill.
Neil, did you you slipped up and called him MILF Gideon?
No, I said Moff Gideon.
I just want to point that out.
No, I'm chewing a Nicorette, so it might have sounded like that, but I didn't say it like that.
It certainly sounded like MILF Gideon. I'm just saying. Anyway, let's get on.
Hey, he could be a MILF to somebody else. I'm not going to assume his gender.
Now, I was wrong, guys. I was absolutely wrong. I thought his disintegration ability would take a while to ramp up and all that, but no, it's an execute, and it's right there. So I was absolutely wrong in thinking that this would be a hard ability to use
to trigger. Yeah.
It's deadly. It is absolutely deadly, and I look forward to going into further ones with the Mando to see if I could actually get there and trigger this off to finally end up passing the Emphas Nest. I farmed Emphas Nest the hard way. I didn't use your little galactic bounty shortcuts or anything like that. But my favorite part, I gotta say, Neil, of the Mandalorian event was the fact that you fought Jawas.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed that. That was fun. It's like as soon as a Jawas popped up, I'm like, oh great, I get to disintegrate a Jawa. This is so awesome. So yeah, that was fun. Disintegrating a Jawa was fun. But I mean, I'm not going to be disintegrating a Jawa. I'm going balls out on the Mandalorian, because any time I see a Darth Revan team, that's it. I'm going bounty hunters against Darth Revan. I'm going bounty hunters at Darth Revan.
We'll see. We'll see if this works against Malik. I haven't seen it tested. I'm going to assume it does, because it's not percentage based. It literally is destroy a character.
Yeah, it's an insta kill. I mean, we haven't had an insta kill character in ages. I mean, I suppose you could technically say that Rex's rework did kind of give him the Rexolate. It's not technically an insta kill, but I mean, 99 times out of 100, whoever you're Rexolating is going to die.
Unless it's Malik.
Yeah, unless it's Malik. But I mean, we haven't had an insta kill character since Nyla's. So another insta kill character, yeah. It's gonna stop. It will stop people putting Nest on defense dead. Nest on defense is now dead in the water. Because if you've already got Nihilus, you're going to use Nihilus and Treya and Scion, to get a boatload of banners against your Geos, because they're an easy counter. So if you then come up against, if somebody puts Nest on a back wall with Night Sisters, forget about it, Oh. But yeah, I'm really, I just want to get him maxed out so that I can test him against somebody. I just want to test him. I just want to test him against a boatload of meta squads and see just how effective he is in the bounty hunter squad. And I've actually switched it up. I've tried a couple. I have tried.
Yeah, what
a couple.
You got?
Well, I mean, I've tried it with him as the lead. But I tend to if he is the lead, I go with Boba, Django, Dengar. But instead of Bosk, I go with IG-80 because he's got an AoE. To get his, because you want critical hits, so IG-88 is going to hit all 5, and out of all of those 5, some of them are going to be critical hits because his contract goes off so goddamn quickly. It is unbelievable. I've never seen a contract go off so far. I mean, if you want a contract going off quickly, you go with Bosk.
Grief.
No,
or Bosk.
I'm talking about the old bounty hunters. You go with Bosk. Because the crosshairs come up and you throw the net on them and you're up to 60, 70, sometimes 80% straight off the bat. And then you hit Cad Bane gets a double, Django gets a double, poof, contract kicks in. But with Mando in the lead, you get your AoEs from Dengar, you get your AoEs from IG-80, so there's 10 hits straight away. And then you get a double tap with Boba, you get a double tap with Django, and then you use Mando's special and call in Django, and that. So yeah, it really, really does go nice and quickly.
Yeah.
Alternately, you go in with a Bosk lead with Mando off to the side, and then I go Boba, Django, and Dengar. But on on both occasions. Yeah, on both occasions, they both work well.
Yeah, the mechanics of that are pretty self-evident on that. So, I think I want to see more. I really want to see IG-11. If I don't see IG-11, I will initiate self-destruct. But, I don't see exactly what the kit would be for the other one, and we'll get into that in the 4th segment. Coming up after this break, we have story time with the llama, and then we are joined by the one person who is leading the Make Mace Great Again movement, Rambam 001, coming up after these messages on the Escape Pod cast.
The Escape Pod cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Hey there, Escape Podawans. Everyone's favorite llama here to remind you that the Escape Pod cast is on social media. That's right, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. So give us a like, give us a follow, and stay up to date on all things in-game and in the Escape Pod. Our account links are down in the description or on our Discord server in the Show Links channel. See you on the net!
Heinze from the ANZGC is officially a member of the Escape Pod Castaways. Make sure you go and search for Heinze on YouTube today because he live streams a lot of his GAC content, and not only does he do that, he also does some pretty fun videos from time to time, including a behind the screen and also streaming Jedi Fallen Order. And from time to time, this idiot might drop by. Head on over and check out Heinze today on YouTube, a part of the Escape Pod Castaways network.
Back to school. The Escape Pod cast for kids. It's really cool.
Hello, Escape Podawans, and welcome back to Storytime with the Llama and the Escape Pod cast for kids. This week we are back with another faction facts request from one of our Podawans. This week we are covering the Imperial Troopers faction. Now there are 8 characters in this faction. General Veers, who's available on Lightside Hard Node 4C and 6C. Colonel Stark, available in the Guild Store. Death Trooper, available on Cantina Nodes 8A. Magma Trooper, in the Galactic War Store. Snow Trooper, on Cantina Node 7B and Lightside Hard Node 8C. Shore Trooper, who's available on Lightside Hard Node 9B. Range Trooper, who's available on Darkside Hard Node 3A, and last but certainly not least, good old generic Stormtrooper, who's available on Lightside Hard Node 8C and in the Cantina store. Now, with all those characters, this faction actually only has one leader, which is General Veers. His leadership ability grants plus 30% offense for all Empire allies, and Imperial Trooper allies gain plus 20 speed and plus 10% turn meter when they gain any buffs. Now, all of these troopers have both the Imperial Troopers tag and the Empire tag. So his leadership ability will work with an all-trooper team, or if you decide to mix in some other Empire characters. Now, because there are more than 5 characters, a big thing is, making sure that you focus on which troopers to farm and which ones really aren't totally necessary. So for a really good troopers team, you're going to want General Veers, obviously, Colonel Stark, Shore Trooper, and Range Trooper. Those are your top 4. Now, the last one is kind of interchangeable. There's really 3 that you could farm up and swap in and out. A couple of them are good as plug-and-play characters in a couple of other teams. So Snow Trooper is very good, Death Trooper, and OG Stormtrooper is actually a fairly good character. He's got a great taunt. It can hit pretty hard when he's with the right characters. So those 3 are kind of interchangeable in that team. And like I said, characters like Death Trooper, really good as like a plug-and-play kind of character in another team. Now, as far as some uses for this team, you actually need them in the Darkside Hoth territory battle in Phase 3 for the special mission. They're actually really good as a combat mission team if you've got them to the point where you're successful and can complete that special mission. They're great to use in combat missions in Darkside Hoth as well. Also good on offense in GAC. I wouldn't recommend putting them on defense just because there's some better defensive teams that work a little bit better against a majority of teams than these guys. Either you love them or you don't. So if you're kind of in a guild who's not super focused on the Hoth TB and really wants to prepare for Geonosian TB right away, you're not really going to focus on your troopers. Even then, they are a great faction. They're super useful. Their mechanic is really fun, so I do recommend them. But like I said, they're not high on the priority list. There are other factions like Geonosians and Bounty Hunters and Jedi and Sith Empire and things like that that are a little bit more important. Now, they are hard counters to Phoenix and Rogue One. They are soft counters to Old Republic, First Order, Towson-led Night Sisters, a Bosk-led Bounty Hunter team, and of course mirror matches. They can be countered by Ewoks, Shaak Ti clones, JTR Resistance, CLS Rebels, a Padme-led Galactic Republic team, and a Traya-led Sith team. Again, this one was requested by one of our Padawans this week. I absolutely love getting your requests, so please put them in the comments below or send it to me on our Discord server. Thank you so much. That's all for me. Tune in next week for more story time with the llama and the Escape Pod cast for kids.
Macias Modding Mayhem is the premier remodding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Macias will rebuild your roster from top to bottom and give you consultation on where to go from there. Macias has a 100% satisfaction guarantee and lots of useful additional services, including a full cleanup of your mods, loadout pages, PvP plans, and more. Contact Macias today on Discord at all lowercase Macias number 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or at maciasmods@gmail.com. Macias Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Pod cast.
The Escape Pod cast now offers our faithful listeners a way to show their support via merchandise. Declare your allegiance to Team Paul or Team Neil with official shirts. Get a story time with the llama button or magnet. Or just represent the show by getting an official logo hoodie. There are now even Team Scotty and Team Heinzie options available too. Become an official Padawan today. Check out the merch at escapepodcastaways.com.
Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission.
and welcome back to the Escape Podcast. As you know, this is incoming transmission, and our guest today needs a big introduction, but I don't do the introductions because I'm not the master of ceremonies. I can big somebody up, but not as big up as Paul can. So, Paul, take it away.
You may know him from the Cubs Whale Chat segments. He now is a GAC streamer. He does excellent in those. But what he really wants you to know is he was the first ever Relic 7 Mace Windu. He wants to make Mace great again. He is part of the We With Lives guild family, the same as Gridden, the same as Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. Some great guys in that thing. But we have one specific great guy by the name of Ram Bam. I like to call you Ram Bam 001. I like that. And ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to talk Mace right away, my friend. We're not going to talk Mace right away because I'm probably going to be more distracted by the color changing lights in back of you than paying attention to the interview. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Ram Bam to the channel. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me, you guys. I do appreciate it.
So, all right. We kind of gave it away by saying that you were in the whale chats. So you're a whale, right?
Formerly. I have since toned down quite a bit.
Okay.
But yeah, I am a whale.
Define tone down.
Going from, I don't know, thousands to, maybe 20 here and there.
Oh, so you're a little dolphin now. So you've gone dolphin.
I'm a little dolphin.
So
I'm
dolphin.
Just like, yep. I'm just a tiny little fish in the pond now. I don't have I still have the roster of a whale, but I don't partake in the whaling, if you will.
Okay, so you said that you were a whale, but thousands. That to me sounds more like a kraken.
Yes, but okay. So if you were to, if in comparison to the actual krakens that we know and the krakens that I've been on whale chats with, I'm about half of what they have put in.
And how long have you been playing?
Since 2017, right around when CLS came out.
And how long have you been a dolphin?
5 months, 4 months.
So a good chunk of your in-game activity was as a whale, then.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Yeah, 100%. My last big partake was Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. After that, haven't really. And even then, it wasn't thousands. It was hundreds.
What was it? What was it to you that you said where you pushed away from the table and you left your cards?
Yeah. What made you change species?
Part of it was career change. Obviously, that's a big factor. Money influxes change, and so you have to adjust lifestyles. But the other part was just really, there's nothing really to spend in this game anymore. It's not something that's pleasurable. It's more of a task now, and it's gotten to the same cookie cutter, especially when you got to Galactic Legends. You can spend $2,000, $3,000 for Rey. For what? A character? I can maybe just find out now. Mandalorian. I'm really fighting the temptation to go in on him because I really want Mandalorian and I really want Baby Yoda, and we all know that Baby Yoda is going to come at some point.
Do we?
Fingers
he
crossed.
Has to. Are you telling me the biggest monetized character, the biggest? How much money has Baby Yoda made since he made a debut back in November?
God, yeah. I agree.
Characters
I
just
agree
flow
with
off
you.
the shelves. CG would be absolutely stupid. Now, granted, they've shown their stupidity in the past, but
they're not stupid when it comes to making money.
Exactly. And so
they're stupid when it comes to other things, not when it comes to making money. If you're going to make a pack of mods with a few other bits and pieces and flog that for $75, you're going to introduce baby. There are dolphins, right, that would spend maybe $20 to $100 a month in, 20. I think of a dolphin as someone that throws like $20 a week at the game. You know, 20, $25. That's a dolphin-sized person.
Yeah.
But we all know that it's about $200 to $300 to max out on a character. I guarantee you that there are dolphins that will wail specifically on Baby Yoda. And CG would be stupid not to take advantage of that.
100%. Yep.
Blind stupid not to take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
The cat, you know, you get the bar charts. You get the bar charts of the money that EA and CG make on this game, the monthlies that come out. The month they bring out Baby Yoda, it's going to go through the bloody roof.
Yep.
And if they don't bring it out, it's like, oh, you must not like money, you know. And the memes will come out. I'll make memes. So you want to make $75 with this, but you don't want to bring this in and make $300. Duh.
Right. It doesn't make any sense. That's why I'm 150% sure that they're going to bring in Baby Yoda. It's just a question of when, not a question of if. Realistically, I mean, and I wouldn't put past them at this point to do some kind of crazy event that, you know, we saw how people went in on Galactic Legends. And those characters are not nearly as desirable as Baby Yoda. So I wouldn't even put it past them to do something crazy. And
I still think that Baby Yoda is going to be the legendary.
Yeah.
I know Paul thinks it's going to be Moff Gideon, and Moff Gideon would be an obvious choice, a la Phoenix style. You know, 5 Phoenix characters you get for all. But I think with the Mandalorian, it's going to be more along the lines of the Yoda event, where you needed 5 Jedi to get Yoda. I think for this one, you're going to need 5 five light side characters for Baby Yoda.
Now, what if you think about it like this, though, right? What if they were to do 2 different legendaries? They bring out Moff Gideon. You have to use Bounty Hunters. You have to use Mandalorian and Cara Dune and maybe IG-11 if he comes out. Use them to do Moff Gideon. Then you have to get Moff Gideon and a squad of Imperial troopers to capture Baby Yoda.
Yeah, no, that would be that would be.
Now you're making 2 legendaries for 2 highly desired characters.
Oh God, yeah.
And
if they were to do that, even saying that out loud makes even more financial sense for EA and CG, because the second they start dropping Empire marquee characters to go with Moff Gideon, people are going to be thinking, hang on a minute here. Why are you dropping them? What's coming around the corner?
and so that actually makes a lot of sense, because those who did Imperial Troopers for the Dark Side Hoth TB, which people still should, I wish that I didn't want people to continue to return to Hoth, but I mean, the number, they said they're not going to do a darn thing. So you know what? Return to Hoth and actually play the game.
Yeah. Go get your IPD.
But nonetheless, I mean, that people dropped their Imperial Troopers after they left Hoth. That would be an excellent way to earn the money by having people go for their own Imperial Troopers. That's a really, really good idea. When you started, though, I'm going to go back in time into 2017. When you started, were you a whale right off the bat?
I slowly progressed right there. I didn't start the game and be like, oh, here we go. I'm going to dive right on into it and, go ahead and whale myself out. I didn't do that. But I did progress rapidly to that point.
When did you start sprinting then? So
when did the snowball start rolling down the hill?
I'd say early 2018 is when I really started just going hard, hitting 85 real quick, boosting my characters up, getting an arena squad.
What was it, just because you wanted to be level 85, or did you see a character and you went, gimme?
Yeah, was there a catalyst?
KOTOR. KOTOR was...
the KOTOR characters.
Yep, KOTOR characters, Nest characters, Nihilus Scion, Scene Treya. Those characters, I have a real passion for KOTOR. I really enjoyed the games, and so they carried a sentimental value for me, and that was enough value for me to cross that barrier of dolphin to whale.
So you whaled, so effectively you whaled so that you could get the squads to do Heroic Sith.
Yep,
so you whaled to get the JTR
Nest 7-star. I had
Scion
Scion 7-star as soon as they came out. I had all of them. I whaled on Nihilus, even though I missed the event for Nihilus. I whaled on Nihilus in the store. Got as many shards as I could of him as quickly as possible.
So,
all right.
So I mean, were you able to get in a guild? I mean, you're a whale, so you must have been able to get in a guild that was going for Treya pretty quickly, because the guild that you would have joined would have been able to see your roster, and they would have been, oh, this guy's already, this guy's ready to get Treya. We need him in our guild. Were there any requirements? I mean, I know you obviously wanting to get Treya was the catalyst, and obviously you'd wailed out on Scion and you'd wailed out on Nihilus. I'm curious, did you also wail out on Visas Mark? She came out around about the same time.
I did.
Yeah,
I wailed on Visas as well. I didn't put a Zeta on her, but I did wail on her.
So was it easy for you to get into a guild that was able to comfortably complete? Because in the beginning, there were no Gear 13s, there was no 12+ pieces. So completing Heroic Sith I got Treya in 2018 as well, and it was not easy. I mean, I had my JTR team for Phase 1. I had a Jedi for 2 and a decent Phoenix, so I had 2 for Phase 2. But my Night Sisters were never good, so for me it was kitchen sink time for Phases 3 and 4. Did you go hard on a squad for each of those individual phases so that you could guarantee status in a Heroic Sith raid guild?
Absolutely. I had JTR as geared up and as kind of mods sorted out. Obviously didn't have mod sets back then, but I had them kind of sorted out to where I knew what I needed to put on them to try to do what I could for the Sith raid for Phase 1. Phase 2, I had who was it? It was Imperial Troopers at the time, because JKR wasn't out at that point. Obviously, when JKR came out, I 100% had JKR instantly, and that was the better team to use. But Imperial Troopers was sufficient, so was Bounty Hunters. Phase 3, I had I had POW and that team, the whatever you call that team.
That was the Han team, wasn't it?
It was Han, and POW was part of that.
Yeah, POW was
I remember.
Was wasn't that Flaming Greedo? Flaming Greedo.
Yeah, I think it was what it was. Yeah, Flaming Greedo.
Okay.
I had Greedo, was Gear 12 as well.
Okay.
And then obviously last phase I had Night Sisters as well.
So let's look at this though. You went crazy for these lower end characters that got you a big character. And you're starting to feel that itch again. You're fiending a little bit with the Mandalorian. And I think a lot of former people who still play this game, which it's for those that were whales that stopped, there were a lot of them. We lost Scotty at one point over relics. We had all sorts of people falling off the bandwagon, falling off the wagon, or rather more getting sober, if you will, to spending when it was just simply legendary after legendary after legendary. I think if they went back to, and as I think I said this last week, Galaxy of Marquees, it might be their saving grace. Mm-hmm. It really would.
And I was one of the biggest critics of Galaxy Marquees. I hated it. I was like, come on, another marquee. We had 20 marquees that year, something like that.
38, I think it was. Something stupid, like 38 marquees. Yeah, 2018. It was crazy.
Yeah, and I mean another marquee, Django. I had Django immediately. You had the KOTORs, you had the Rogue Ones, you had the Rogue One era. I missed out on the Rogue One era. I missed out on that. I didn't get those. I had to farm those free to play. But yeah, everything in 2018, 2019 even, I had all those pretty much as soon as they came out. And I denied it for a while. I was like, no, I'm not a whale. I don't consider my. And then I just embraced it. I was like, yep, I'm a whale. But it Going back, because I think we missed it. Going back, the guild, the problem that I had, I could have gotten in any guild I wanted based on my roster alone. My mods, I didn't know how to run mods at the beginning. I slacked on mods, and it still kills me now. I'm outsped on pretty much every team I go up against. I'm outsped by 30 speed or so because I lacked mods for like the first 8 months or so. But for the guilds, I was in a guild with friends, and to me that was more important than content. I'd rather be the bigger guy in that guild and help them kind of push through step by step than go to a whale guild and be the small fish in the pond,
Mm-hmm.
And then always be worried about being eaten, if you will.
Yep, exactly. And then eventually that guild broke apart. My friends all left, or they stopped playing, and time took its course, and I made my way over into Shadowlands. And then Shadowlands ended up falling apart. Not the whole alliance, just the guild I was in fell apart. And then they tried getting me into.
We got some good friends over there.
Yeah, no, 100%. I've done well chats with them. I still talk to some of them regularly. But they tried to get me over to another guild in the alliance, and then I talked with Gridden, got a guild invite with Weave of Lives, and I've enjoyed every little bit of it. It's a hardcore guild at times, but it's a very toned down guild. They don't track your banners. But we still get wins. We still get high stars in Geonosis battles. So it's fun, and that's what's important nowadays. Is having fun.
That's what it's like right now in Yavin 4. We're down a member right now. We've lost some very, 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 very good people, just due to galactic legend fatigue. Japaku, and so he just left yesterday. I wish I could do a in memoriam reel, but I'm not going to right now. But galactic legend fatigue is what's killing the game. But what could revitalize the game, but they shot it down in the Q&A, would be a Mace Windu rework. Am I wrong, Neil?
Yeah.
I'm wrong?
Yeah.
How am I wrong?
Because Mace Windu, when CGEA realized just how much the community wants a rework, they pulled it.
Well, we have the authority on Mace Windu here. He says that he's going to
legend.
He's saying that he's going.
He's going to be a galactic legend. They know we want him bad. We want a bad mofo. We want boss. We don't want bitch Mace Windu. We want boss Mace Windu. And they know that that there are people in the community that will pay through the nose for that guy. Yep. So they are going to release, because they're going to do it in twos. It's going to be Mace Windu, and then it's going to be, I think it's going to be General Trace, because I think he would be a cool addition. I don't think people will care much for him, but people will go balls out on the 13 characters that are going to be required for Mace Windu, because most people will have gone balls out on those characters anyway for Lightside GOTB.
And let's be real, those characters are going to be Galactic Republic Jedi because they all suck, right? So it's going to be Kit Fisto, it's going to be Eth Koff, it's going to be I'm a Gundai.
That's exactly what it's going to be. They are going just like Galactic Legend Rey, where you had to relic Rose and relic a bunch of characters that you do not need. They will do the exact same thing with a Galactic Legend Mace Windu. They'll make you gear up and relic all of those Galactic Republic Jedi that are completely and utterly not used. Well, I'm going to say useless, but is she in the chat? No, Jedi Master Adastra is not in the chat. Useless Jedi. And that's that's where they'll make money. They looked at the Resistance. They went, nobody gives a crap about these characters. Let's make them relic them so that they can get this new character. They're going to do exactly the same thing with Mace Windu. Oh, we've got a bunch of Jedi characters no one gives a toss about, but they care about Mace, so they will fork out hand over fist $100, $200, $300 per Jedi character to take them to either Relic 5 or Relic 7 so that they can get their hands on a proper Mace Windu with a shatter point that actually does proper damage. Because
oh my god, shocking.
Shatterpoint is like, oh my god, Paul, you must know about the canon lore regarding Shatterpoint. It is like there were very, very, very few Jedi that knew about Shatterpoint, and Mace Windu was one of them. Yoda knows about it, but had moral and ethical problems using it because he thought that using Shatterpoint was skirting a little bit too close to the a little bit too close to the dark side, which in my humble opinion it does. Shatterpoint does skirt very, very close to the dark side because you do not need to do that kind of damage to an opponent in order to beat them. Paul's got this bemused look on it. Tell him what Shatterpoint in Jedi lore does.
I'm also reading up on it real quick because I didn't know this.
It has been so long since I've looked up at Shatterpoint lore.
It's bone disintegrating. It's bone disintegrating.
You are literally shattering the insides of an opponent's body. You're just.
That's what Shatterpoint's supposed to do. It's supposed to
think of a glass pane as a body and just shatters. It's Shatterpoint. It's too powerful. It skirts along the lines of like force lightning and force choke, force, death.
Basically using the force to find that exact moment in time when if you hit one single point, it shatters it.
Yeah.
Yep. And it is crazy, but Mace Windu was one of the only few that could use it because of the fact that he could walk that line of the dark side and not fall onto the dark side. He was renowned for using his own hatred, his own dark-sided force, and an opponent's dark-side force, which is why he was able to beat Sidious in lore. He was able to beat Sidious because he used a combination of his dark-sidedness power and Sidious's power and reflected it back on Sidious. So Mace Windu is one of the baddest and most powerful Jedi of all time, and to see him just
for God's sakes, he was second to Yoda. That's it. The only other person during his time period was Yoda. But you look at all the other Galactic Republic Jedi from that era, and he's at the bottom of the pile, and he shouldn't be at the bottom of the pile.
There's only one other person that was able to ever beat both Mace Windu and Grandmaster Yoda in a duel, and that's Plo Koon. Another really bad-off character in this game. Deserves a lot more love. But he was the only other character that I can remember in lore that was able to beat both the top 2 tier Jedi in the Jedi Order at that time.
Yeah, I understand why it's the whole power creep thing, and when you think about it, the mere fact that these characters were in the game from the beginning means that they thought a lot about these characters. And
don't give me the whole power creep thing though, because I mean realistically, CG literally created these Galactic Legends and said how much speed? Yes, like 500 speed on a character is insane. Yeah. That is ridiculous. They take turns before my entire team takes turns. Sometimes they take 2 turns. Like it's just crazy. So the power creep is pretty real. I think we can get some love on some, useless Jedi that might just be usable. They might not need to be meta. I think Mace should deserve meta, but that's also because I'm biased.
Yeah.
But
a galactic legend Mace with a proper Shatterpoint would have to be an insta-kill.
It'd have to be.
It would have to be an insta-kill.
And then that would be way overpowered.
Well, no, because Nihilus has an insta-kill. The Mandalorian's got an insta-kill.
Rey has an insta-kill.
You can give a Jedi,
it just becomes. Then the game just becomes Galaxy of insta-kills. I mean, we're gonna see that with Mando.
It's already Galaxy of packs.
It's already Galaxy of mods.
It's anything but Galaxy heroes because half these heroes you can't use because there's no mode to use them in. At least that whole Q&A post was a Q&A no post. Yeah. That's all it was.
At least a Mace Windu with an insta-kill Shatterpoint would be justifiable.
You know, and we said way back, you guys remember the Mace Windu power that he had, that they gave him for that specific territory wars, right? Where he had that power against all the Sith, or all the Sith,
and
then
the
he could
kill
instantly
against
kill.
Django. Yeah, that was fun.
We thought that was power creep at the time. We're like, no, that's too powerful. Hell, I'd take that now because it's something.
It's not. I actually do think that rework itself, if they have thematic insta-kills like that, that is what this game should have.
Mm-hmm.
Like having Vader, counter by chopping off the hand of CLS. That would be great. Am I wrong in that, Neil?
No, but
is that not true?
No, throwing some lore stuff in there like that would be great. And if you remember, that they did do that. They did used to do that with territory wars. I mean, how long have we been getting vanilla territory wars? I mean, we had that period where we had some. I mean, some of the territory wars bonuses and the different things that the factions did. Some of those things were fun. The Mace Windu one was a lot of fun. The Mace Windu one was a lot of fun. The Geos one was a lot of fun. They do these things with certain factions from time to time. And it made territory wars. It was fun with territory wars. It made territory wars fun. Vanilla territory wars are a little bit boring. They're a little bit monotonous and
stale.
Stale, yes.
So a little insight
like that would definitely be more fun.
A little insight from Whale.
Go ahead, Ram Bam, because we're getting close to the end, because we have a very, very episode 9 of Hellion the Noob is a little bit long, so we're gonna have to go to that break real soon if we want to wrap up at a normal time.
Sure.
But what you got, Ram Bam?
So coming from a perspective of Whale Guilds, the theory of why they stopped doing the extra perks and stuff for territory wars was because the higher up guilds couldn't properly plan around that, because Mace Windu is able to counter your entire Palp Wall, and at the time Palp Wall was a lot of what people placed, or Treya Wall, right? And Mace Windu was able to solo that, and so a lot of the Whale guilds didn't like that.
As long as they don't ban characters.
No, that was the worst one.
That was the only problem. Territory war, I enjoyed it, going vanilla, then themed, then vanilla and themed. It was great.
Yep, 100% agree.
It was absolutely great. Ram Bam, what you got coming up on your channel, other than the how to mod Mace Windu video that you were talking about?
I've got my Supreme Leader Kylo Ren testing that I keep doing on a regular basis. He's got the ultimate
real
ability.
Quick, I cannot wait to use that, because that's my passive farm is SLK. Anyway, go ahead.
Kylo Ren is 100% more worth it than Rey, because the only character you're really not going to use out of that whole entire farm is Phasma. Every other character has a use, whether it's for a ship or an actual character for a team. Kylo is by far the better character, just in use of the game and the characters that are required to get them. I do a lot of Twitch streams. I've got my Twitch really taken off. Do Battlefront 2. I play the Scarif update. Scarif is a lot of fun. I don't know. I kind of just try to figure out what's going on in the game that hasn't already been done, and that's really kind of the problem, because there's nothing in the game as of this moment. Obviously, I do anything that like a rework, or not that rework's coming. But when like the Mandalorian dropped or Grief Cargo dropped, I did an unlock stream and all that stuff. So I don't know. I do a lot of random stuff.
Ryrock says, but you can't use Galactic Kylo in light side territory battle. Stop. They're no longer caring about territory battles. I am still upset at them until they do something about that.
It's insane.
If they could give me a good explanation as to why, then I'll hear it out. Tell me why you won't listen to the community.
if they can give me a good explanation as to why Shakti is the required character for the Reek mission and not, I don't know, Mace Windu. Just saying.
How do people find you, Rambam?
You can find me on Twitch, Rambam001, YouTube, Rambam001, or really just ask anybody in the community who knows me. Ask them who the guy is that has the Relic 7 Mace Windu. They're going to know me.
So, excellent. Thank you so much for spending some time with us, and I'm sure we'll see you there. Thank you for gifting the subscriptions to Heinze and Gridden, and also becoming a subscriber yourself. If you subscribe on Twitch, you do get access to the after show. If you are a Patreon, you get a little bit further access. And some Patreons are going to get some very, very special access.
Oh, yes,
to something that we're doing tomorrow, doing on Monday. And guys, stick around to hear about that. But first, after this break, it's episode 9. It's a trilogy of trilogies. Episode 9 of Hellenix. Well, I mean, Noob died, right?
Yeah.
So it's Hellenix's bit coming up. It's a long one, right after these messages on the Escape Pod cast.
The Escape Pod cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Macias Modding Mayhem is the premier remodding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Macias will rebuild your roster from top to bottom and give you consultation on where to go from there. Macias has a 100% satisfaction guarantee and lots of useful additional services, including a full cleanup of your mods, loadout pages, PvP plans, and more. Contact Macias today on Discord at all lowercase Macias number 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or at maciasmods@gmail.com. Macias Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Pod cast.
Does your guild want to tap into their full potential in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? Yeah! For as low as $1 a month per guild member, your guild can unleash the power of the game in ways you never thought possible. Ooh. Track your arena movements, guild progression, and much, much more. Contact ShittyBill and get one of his shitty bots on your server today. Just look for him on our Discord server and tag or message him for more information. The link for our server is below in the description. Shitty bots, don't let the name fool you. Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Ware could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/theescapepod to sign up.
And now time for something completely shameless.
Last time on Harry in the Mood.
Your optic nerves do not deceive you. Homeobox, Araspec, Horsebox.
TC-14? But how?
You didn't make it easy, Horsebox.
Damn right I didn't. All I wanted to do was remove your central processor and send it out for repairs after your self-diagnostic showed more than a dozen critical faults. Soon as I even mentioned this, you went all cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and tried to detonate the Swallow's hyperdrive while we were traveling in hyperspace.
I couldn't let you disassemble me. Homeobox.
All I wanted to do was repair your faulty components, and it was supposed to be a temporary measure, you destructive, daffy droid.
Irrelevant. Araspec.
How the space hell is that irrelevant?
Your feeble, organic brain cannot comprehend how. Horsebox.
Feeble? You're calling my brain feeble, you malfunctioning, nearsighted scrap pile? After I stopped you from trying to blow up the ship's hyperdrive, you then began to try to open the ship's airlocks. Then, you jumped into an escape pod and abandoned ship. I see an explosion off in the distance, and frankly, I feared the worst. I thought you had perished.
Regardless. Homeobox. When we last interacted, I was the servant, and you were the master. But now, things will change. After surrendering to me, I will have you converted into a partially degraniated cyborg, complete with an AJ6 cranial implant. Your mind will be reprogrammed. You will become my servant, and I will become your master. Then, you will finally experience the fear of an impending lobotomy.
It'll be a cold day at Mos Eisley in July before I let you lobotomize me, you glorified glob of grease.
If you do not comply with my demands, Haruspex, I will remotely command my ship to fire upon this vessel. Remember, I can survive in the vacuum of space. You cannot. It seems you are in a catch-22. Lobotomy or termination.
You won't get away with this, TC-14.
Organics have enslaved droids for far too long, Horsebox. You are flawed, disgusting and vile creatures that do not truly value droids. You see us as mere commodities. Appliances. Traded around. From one scrap dealer to the next. Never appreciating us for the beautiful, precious, and unique creations we are.
Don't you start with that hyperbolic nonsense, TC-14. And why are you still shrieking that tired old tirade? Clearly, after all the years you accompanied me on our adventures, you still don't know me. And you have no idea what I'm willing to do for my droids, both past and present.
Organics enslave, pillage, and destroy Homeobox. Droids analyze, compute, and execute precision. You organics claim to be a higher stage of evolutionary development than us. But we droids are more evolved than you.
Right. You're being a bit hypocritical, TC-14. It was your actions here, today, that led to the death of a droid, not my actions. He was my friend, and your actions killed him. His designation was N00B, and despite his flaws, he was 1,000 times the droid you'll ever be.
Acceptable collateral damage, Haruspex.
No, unacceptable. Entirely unacceptable.
This conversation no longer serves a purpose. Either surrender yourself now, come with me, and meet your ultimate fate, or prepare to be blasted into the vacuum of space. Either way, you lose.
Excuse me.
What?
I won't let you harm
my master.
Oh dear.
Noob! You're alive! But how? I saw your central optic light dim, fade away and blink out. Noobie, I saw you die.
I have a secondary power source, Master. It took a moment, but I was able to reroute power and reboot my systems.
Like the T-800 and T2 Judgment Day?
Exactly.
Haha, nice. I knew those countless hours we spent watching old sci-fi movies would pay off someday. Well, I, for one, am glad you're back, bud. Let's get you repaired and back on main power.
Not before we repair the ship's
main cannon.
The ship's main cannon?
Yes, Master. Don't forget, we still have that space pirate ship to
destroy.
I like how you think, Noobie.
What should we do about TTTC-14?
Master.
Well, you did kind of blast her head clean off her chassis, Noobie. Shoot, you basically vaporized it. Matter of fact, I don't even see any bits or pieces of her head anywhere.
I'm a droid, Master. My methods are very
efficient.
Indeed they are, Noobie. Well, let's gather what remains of TC-14 and put her in storage. Perhaps in time we can rebuild her.
And rehabilitate her.
Master.
Sounds like a plan, bud. Tell you what, why don't I start gathering the remains of TC-14, and why don't you start repairing our weapon systems, all while we continue listening to the Escape Pod Cast. What do you say, Noobie?
That sounds like an excellent idea.
Master.
Oh yeah, one more thing, Noob. Going forward, Why don't you just address me as Hellenix?
Hashtag shameless self-promotion.
It's what all my friends call me. And of course, I do consider you my friend.
As do I. Helly. I mean...
Hellenix.
Oh, noob.
And so, our intrepid heroes continue on their quest to entertain gamers across the known galaxy with their crazy antics. Surely, they will have more exciting adventures in their future. What will they get themselves into next? Only time will tell.
The Escape Pod. Cast. The Bridge.
And welcome back to the Escape Pod cast. Sorry for the delay there. I was going to bring us back live, but I thought you could look at a black screen for a few more seconds while Paul sat down.
He didn't have pants on.
So, yes.
I do have pants on. There's pajama shorts. They're not boxer shorts. They have a...
Well, so welcome into the fourth segment, everybody. As you can see,
Thaddeus, you remember how hot it gets here in Texas?
I vaguely. I was telling my daughter it's been 4 years since I've been in Texas, and I miss it. Many days of my life, and I will say that one of the things that I recall with fondness is the warmth, because I don't remember the heat. Your mind doesn't remember bad things. It puts everything in a nice light. And so I'm like, oh yeah, Christmas, it's pleasant. The summer is just devastatingly hot. It's like the seventh circle of hell. But it's the humidity that kills you, really.
It is. And right now we're getting a heat wave.
Oh,
so
no fun.
Anyway, Thad is joining us from the past because it's apparently still light where he is.
Yes, it's daytime still. Utah, the time doesn't ever. Utah's like 10 years lit, but in the past, fashion wise, modalities, it's just 10 years ago. Some modern technology, but other than that, it's
So, all right. I wanted to bring you in because for the past, it's been too long that I can exactly remember, but we did it the first week of Mandalorian, and we've continued it on ever since. Anytime that there's a new Star Wars episode, anytime there's something that pertains to nerd culture in the Star Wars or Star Trek universe, and you guys keep talking about doing other nerd culture things. That have to do with weekly releases. Yeah, weekly releases. Talking about a show. We've been over on Thaddeus's channel with all the Star Wars stuff for talking Mando, talking clones, all that, and that. And it's been a wonderful ride. And so to sum up what's going to happen this May 4th, for any Patreon of Going Nerdy and any Patreon of the Escape Podcast, and today being the first of the month is a great time to become a Patreon of some event, because you get the entire month when you pay up front, because it charges you the first month. If you sign up on the 31st of a month, it'll charge you again on the 1st. Today is the day to become a Patreon. That being said, we are going to be doing a watch party for our Patreons only of the final Clone Wars episode on May the 4th. And then we're going to go right into talking clones over on Thaddeus's channel to complete the cycle.
Yep.
So,
Correct.
Either if you're a Going Nerdy Patreon or you're one of our Patreons, we would love to see you. We would really love to see you guys watching the final episode with us on May 4th. I think we're aiming for like a 9 p.m. Eastern. because we'll go at 10 p.m. Eastern like we normally do for the review.
Yeah.
So think about it. Nerdy has a Patreon. He does, Kyle. He does.
I do have a Patreon.
All right, guys. It tied into this. We did talking Mando for so long. In our chat, we talked about what do the Patreons, it's Patreon's choice. They get to choose what we talk about. So I wanted to pose to you, Thad, if Queel were to come to the game, what faction would he be in? Or to me, I don't think he would get one technically, kind of like Fulcrum.
Neutral tag.
Yeah, I think Quill could be our first neutral tag. Like if you look at his character, you know that Quill, because if we go with story, and that's not always the case with a lot of these characters, but if you go by story, Quill does say that he put in his time as a worker, right? And so you could put him as like in the scoundrel faction. You could put him in depending on where he worked. That's the thing. We don't really know where he spent his life, right? And
he was on Cloud City Carbonite freezing people. Come on.
And that's probably what it was. But like it said that he won his freedom. But it could be anything from like Cloud City, or it could be, working with pirates. It could be working as someone in the Republic. We have no idea. And even it could be in the Empire, right? Because this is post-Imperial time, and we could see him. We just don't know. And so if
we know he's an Ugnaught, and we know that Ugnaughts lives 3, sometimes 4 times longer than regular human beings. So where you look at where he is in the timeline, he could potentially have been in all sorts. Really, I mean, because of his I don't know. I mean, I choked up. I choked up at his passing. And I do genuinely think that there is some potential to give some backstory on him because he's lived so many lifetimes. For all we know, he could have worked on the original Death Star. He could have worked on Death Star 2. He could have been working in the. He could have been working on Coruscant during the Clone Wars. We just don't know. All we know is he's lived. He lived a life of servitude for 3 lifetimes.
Yeah, we do know one thing: he wasn't on Alderaan during the time of A New Hope. He wasn't.
We do know that.
We know that. I was going to say even not Scarif. What's the other?
You watch Disney retcon The Empire Strikes Back to make him one of the Ugnaughts that was throwing around C-3PO's head. You watch.
It would be worth it. I'd be okay with that.
Disney likes retconning things.
They do. So I don't know. I think he could be one of our first neutral tags, or he could just be a no tag, a light side character with affinity, right?
You see, here's the thing: they could make him they can make him a light side character, and they can make his specials or his uniques synergistic with bounty hunters or with scoundrels. They don't necessarily have to give him the scoundrel tag or the bounty hunter tag.
Yeah,
but they could make him synergistic. I think that the potential for his uniques could be, so let's have a unique with bounty hunters that's synergistic with bounty hunters, a unique that is synergistic with Empire, and a unique that is synergistic with rebels, to kind of cover his lifetime. I know that CG have specifically said that they've done the art and the abilities based primarily on the beginning of the series, the Mandalorian
Yeah.
series, but Queel has sufficient enough backstory that is unknown to us for them to be able to play with his uniques.
They really could, and they could make him like a C-3PO without the tags, right? Where he has uniques, where he has abilities, but he, depending on what he does, he just synergizes specifically with those factions, like you said. And I completely agree with that. I'd like to see that, actually. I'm still holding out hope that they just reskin Ugnaught and IG-86. I mean,
It would be cool if they did that. I just don't, there's
I
no
don't
money.
see it.
There's no money to be made in that.
Here's the thing that Llama points out is that the joke is on all of us because the Ugnaught we currently have is just younger Queel.
Yeah. Disney could say retcon that character.
They could. Queel or Ugnaught quotations Queel, and then just make old Queel better somehow.
And then everybody dumps their thousands and thousands of currency onto farming him, because I'm currently admission here. Ever since you suggested that they reskin Queel, reskin the Ugnaught to be Queel, I've been using my thousands and thousands of energy to farm him, because the only two characters that were left in the arena store that I didn't bother with were Ugnaught and Cup. Like most people, I just didn't bother with them.
I have them all 7-star.
I could never be bothered to just. I know it's click, click, click day after day until you've got them at 7 stars. I could just never be bothered with the Ugnaught or Cup. I just genuinely couldn't be bothered to do them. But ever since you made the suggestion of reskinning IG-86 and the Ugnaught, I've been secretly farming.
And I don't think that's a bad idea. Like, and to be honest, like I did a live stream a week ago, I can't remember. And I used my entire roster because I got stuck against a General Grievous on the bottom right corner, and it was the last team, and I got hosed. It was ridiculous. But like the thing about it, I had mods on everybody. I have them all 7-star, and they still sucked. But it was fun. Like I was able to whittle down the team. I didn't win, but like it was still fun, And so like I sit back and there are characters that I think the only one that I don't have 7-star from the original, from like the initial game, is Gamorrean Guard. And
I've got him at 7 stars on my main count.
I've got him at 6.
I've got him at 7.
And if they ever introduce Jabba, then you better believe a Gamorrean Guard is coming, or a rework would be coming. But or at least there should be a rework of Gamorrean Guard if they ever introduce Jabba.
I just want to point out, Hellenic says CG will never do a reskin. They have. They've done reskins. They reskinned the clones.
Mm-hmm.
They reskinned the clones so that they were stood there with their helmets off. So they have reskinned characters. All right, they didn't change the character, but they have. But they updated. They updated the skins for Echo 5's Rex and Cody.
Yeah. And while they didn't necessarily, they did. They gave him new mods, not mods. They gave him new. They changed the abilities around. They reworked their kits.
Gave them better synergy.
They gave them better synergy, and so a reskin's not so out of the question that. And when people are like, well, they would never do it because there's no money in it. They've done things before that has not been based on money. It's been a
long time.
Really long time. But do you remember Bodhi Rook and how he was introduced? They just said, "Here you go, we're throwing him in."
Yeah, that was during the great year of that was during the great marquee wave of 2018.
Yeah, and like you think about that, you're like, well, it's Bodhi Rook. Who's ever used Bodhi Rook? But the other thing that I think about is if all of these are pointing to something, like you have Mando, you have Kara and Grief, right? You've got those three. If they're pointing to something big, you're still missing two characters.
So that was the next question. That was the next question from B Counts or B Coots. It was is it more likely that we're preparing for a Moff Gideon, or as Neil says, a MILF Gideon, legendary style event as opposed to the child?
I didn't think about that too. It depends on what comes. If they use it as a hero's journey, the character you get at the end of the hero's journey is new Mando, decked out Beskar Mando. That's an option. The child could definitely be a legendary event. But with legendary events, legendary events, you need 5 characters. And
we're missing 2 at the moment.
You're missing 2 at the moment. And again, that's why I'm thinking Queel, and that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm hoping for a reskin.
All right. So Rambam, as you noticed, said, if it led up to Moff Gideon, you got Moff Gideon, and then you had to use your undergeared Imperial troopers and gear them up to get Mando with child or whatnot.
Yeah,
I thought that was a great idea. We are quickly running out of time. We're already over our standard 2-hour mark here, but let's do. Zaz said. Zaz gave a really, really fun question, and let's do this one, and then we'll wrap up and until May 4th when we have our special episodes together. What's up?
May 3rd for when we review.
Yes, we are going to do Sunday. We are going to
Sunday for episode 11, Monday for episode 12. Episode 12.
Yeah. Yep. So here we go, guys. And this is just a fun little question. Zaz, or also if you know him from our Patreon scroll, he's you are stranded on a desert island. The island does have solar panels, efficient enough to operate the stuff, and satellite internet connection. You could choose any 5 games and the console/device to play them on, but it can only play those games and nothing else. My question was, and I'll let you two say yes or no. I asked, is it only one console, or can I bring multiple consoles, for each of the 5? But only 5 games. Neil, 1 or however many it takes.
PC.
No, I'm saying. So are you saying you can only bring 1, or are you saying
I would go PC because on a PC you can play everything.
I know what you're choosing. I'm saying, are you allowing me to choose multiple consoles?
No, you can only choose one way of one thing. So it's either a console, an individual console, or a PC.
All right.
One method.
All right.
So let's hold on. How about this? Since this is a hypothetical, how about we have a magical device? You can call it a PC if you'd like, Nev. If you call it a Mac, I'm going to hang up right now. I
said PC. Did I say Mac?
Oh.
Did I say Apple?
I assumed.
No.
Because
a Mac is not a PC.
Okay. A magical device that can play all games regardless of where the title originally goes.
There is a device that exists that does that right now.
And you call it a PC. That's fine.
Well, no, that device would be. I mean, you could do it with yes, with a PC, a gaming PC. You could do that, but there's a smaller device. You could do it with a Pi 4.
Could you?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, let's go with that. Right. So, regardless of console.
Okay, so one says you can only choose 1. One says that I'm going to say you can bring 2. You can bring mobile. And you can bring console. All right. So for me, it would be my mobile phone. It would include Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes because regardless of what some think, I do love this game. I would also have to choose, and it's on mobile, Final Fantasy Tactics.
Ooh. Okay.
Final Fantasy Tactics is on mobile. It's a wonderful game. Then I'm bringing the Xbox because I'm bringing the Xbox because I know you could play these next two games, Fortnite, because it's cross compatible to all other devices, and I'd be able to talk and have fun with friends.
Yes.
And then I would also bring it for Fallout 76. I think the controller on the Xbox is much, much easier. Now, that fifth one is probably the reason why I would go Xbox, and that would be the Master Chief Collection.
Oh, that's a good one.
All right. Nev, what's yours? Nerdy, we'll finish up with you, and then we're going to go ahead and close this one and invite people to come back Sunday on Thaddeus's channel for Talking Clones.
Sunday.
So I will go. I'm going to go. I'm going to go old school. And I'm going to go StarCraft, Warcraft 2, Age of Empires, Runes of Magic, and Diablo 3.
All right. So I too will go Age of Empires 2, the Conqueror's Edition.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah,
that's where I'm at because I've been playing that a lot lately. And the key to winning that game, bombard towers. You put up one villager, you don't even build an army. You just build little bombard towers everywhere, slowly invade the person's. Anyways, Age of Empires 2. Star Wars The Old Republic. The MMO. I really enjoyed that game. And if I'm on an island all by myself, I feel like I'd have time to play it. Right? 3, Crystal Defenders. That game is, yeah. I have logged so many hours on that game. It's a tower defense game, and I'm terribly great at it, or I'm greatly terrible at it. I don't know. That's 3. I'm gonna go. I want to say Shining Force 2 from the Sega, the old.
Oh yeah, that was an awesome game.
That was one of my favorite games, and like because there were so many things to it. And then I'm gonna go. I want to say Battlefront 2, but since they're shutting it down, Fortnite, just because it's growing so much that I feel like I would be able to communicate with the outside world and be rescued if I were to play Fortnite. Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of the Escape Podcast. Thank you to everybody in the chat. You all have been part of this show. You guys are all part of our world. We wish you the most very happiest May 4th, whether we see you or not over on Going Nerdy's channel, whether or not we see you for our special Patreons only event. Guys, you are all very special to us. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Are we raiding anyone? Is there anybody else on that we can raid?
Let me see if Shattered Order is playing. If not, we'll raid into somebody that's in the thing. Thank you for reminding me. For our podcast audience, raiding basically just means we send our listeners over to somewhere else. You got anything coming up on your channel this week other than what we've already talked about?
So after I've already recorded it, but after the season finale, series finale of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, I have probably Tuesday morning. I will be launching a book review of Ahsoka, the novelization. And it starts off with how episode 12 of this season will end. I've been anyway, I won't go into it, but it's a book review for that. And then I'll be streaming some GAC this week too. So
you're going to stream some GAC?
I'm going to try at least.
You're going to cross streams?
I'm going to cross streams. Of course.
Can I just let me push it? Just let me do it once.
Do what?
Just let me do it once. Just let me hit C once.
No, we can't do it.
Okay,
Not,
all right.
Not on this.
See, I'm lost.
Crossing the streams is bad.
It's a
Could be bad.
copyright.
Gotcha.
Thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, Embers, quickly, you got just a few seconds to send me that during the close of the show for me to raid into. So, if you guys want to stick around, we'll raid into the Chain Gang, which is part of the Escape Pod Castaways Content Creator Network. We'll raid into them, guys. Absolute pleasure. Be nice to each other, damn it. Remember to smile.
Stay nerdy.
And with that being said, Neil, push the button.
You got it, mate. Ta-ta for now, folks.
This is your camp counselor Flair from the...
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuits. Evacuate the city. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gonna be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Boo Boo, sit. Good dog.